Hey FreightWaves fans and friends, welcome to Tuesday edition, Taco Tuesday if you are so lucky. We are thrilled to have you here. We have got Chief Meteorologist Nick Austin bringing us the weather across our fair land, and we have got Donny Gilbert, market expert, telling us about, from kind of a broker's perspective, what is happening with reefer and tender rejections, volumes, giving us a little bit of analysis so you can be up to date each and every day. So, Nick, how you doing?
Hey, Chad, I'm doing good.
Great. Good. Is there, what's happening in the Sierras? Anything?
Speaking of, yes.
Really? How did I guess?
There's snow, but it's winding down. Okay. So, and it's not like a lot of the big storms that they've had this season. So this was nothing in comparison to what they've had, but they've had so much snow already this season, this year, and really just the whole season since last fall, really. But, you know, a few more inches today, winds are going to calm down, snow's going to calm down. But there are some areas of new snow developing in the Wasatch Mountains. Those are just east of Salt Lake City, and then up into the northern Rockies, so I-80, I-90 through those areas, Interstate 15. Yeah, there'll be some problems. There'll be some strong winds here and there, several inches of snow, but again, nothing that probably most drivers can't handle. Now, one area that is not getting, luckily the rest of the country is quiet, but one area of the country that is not really getting much in the way of any rain or snow is Southern California, but it's going to be extremely windy. Parts of the Los Angeles metro area, down to near San Diego. So areas like Palm Springs, Santa Barbara, around Edwards Air Force Base and those sections. So from right around here all the way down to near San Diego, inland areas across from San Diego. So very gusty winds, maybe up to about 50, 55 miles per hour. It's going to cause problems along parts of Interstate 5, Pacific Coast Highway, roads like that. So some pretty major thoroughfares as far as anyone trying to get freight out of that area. It's still a pretty heavy head haul market, LA and Ontario. So anyone trying to get out of there is going to run into problems with the wind. You're going to be swaying back and forth. Definitely don't want to deadhead through that area. Spring is springing,
but winter is still upon us, trying to hold on with everything it's got.
It holds on really strong in some parts of the country, particularly out in Sierra Nevada, parts of the Rockies, even some parts of the Northeast. But about the eastern 2/3 of the country right now, there's really not much going on as far as any snowfall or even rain. So there'll be more of that throughout the rest of the week. So I'll be bringing folks up to speed on that on future FreightWaves Now for the rest of the week after today. Yeah.
Thank you, Nick.
You bet.
Thanks, and we will stay safe out there. The weather, you know, everyone talks about it, but no one seems to be able to do much about it. While we are bringing up transparent, our sonar data, I wanted to just say that we are running around with our hair on fire. Things are happening here each and every day. And don't forget, if you haven't already heard about it, our innovation, freight and tech and innovation event in Atlanta, Georgia, Transparency 19. If you haven't signed up yet, get in there, see what you can do. Get in there. We'd love to have you and see you there and celebrate all the hot things happening in the industry there. Speaking of hot things in the industry, Donny Gilbert, our market expert, what do we have going on now?
We're going to start off today with our national markets again. So we're looking at April so far. We're kind of in between 9,700 and 9,800. So today we're at 9,753. So compared to last year, we're kind of in the same, running on the same kind of pattern we saw last year. Last year today was 97.85. So I would like to see these over 10,000, but currently right now we're still at 97. Hopefully as we get into May, they'll start picking up.
And hovering fairly consistently.
Yes, it was about May 10th last year. We started an uptick that brought us over the 10,000 mark. So we're not on a downswing, we're not on an upswing, we're just kind of holding neutral right now. On a little bit of better news, our tender rejections, they have picked up. You know, last week we hit 4.85%, which was the lowest that we'd seen in well over a year. So we've picked up a little bit now, we're at 5.66%.
We were wondering how low could they go? Hopefully that was the bottom that we hit.
Hopefully that is rock bottom. We do not want to see it. We want to see a steady climb. We're now back to where it was about April 1st. We want to continue this climb and bring our tender rejection rates up, giving our carriers a lot more options on their loads.
Fan-stinkin-tastic. Thanks for the good news there. What else you got going on for us?
We've been watching produce season here the last few weeks. and it's a little bit slower taking off than what we've been expecting. There's been markets like Phoenix. The markets, it's picking up. The volumes are about 30 or 40% higher than what they were last year. But the tender rejections in Phoenix are very, very, very low. So
what kind of map are we looking at?
We're going to get to this in just one second.
Oh, okay.
But we're looking at just kind of the volumes in Phoenix. We're watching the volumes there coming up. We're watching the volumes in Laredo. Laredo's been very, very slow to pick up. I expected Laredo to be a lot higher than what it was today.
I remember you said about April 8th last year is when it started to explode, and you were kind of wondering if that would happen again this year.
And their tender volumes jumped up to about now to around the 50-point index. We're still at the 27, 28, so we're about half where we should be.
Which would heat up the Houston market,
It could heat up Houston, Dallas. San Antonio. Those should all start taking off. But we have found one spot that has actually started to pick up due to produce, and that is where we go to right here, Chad.
Oh, and it's pretty dark blue here.
Yes, South Georgia and northern Florida.
Lakeland?
Yes, what we're looking at, Lakeland's actually down here. This is Jacksonville, Savannah, Tifton, Georgia, and Tallahassee. So we are looking at our reefer tender rejection. So if you are a reefer carrier, you need to send your trucks right here. We have rejection rates that are 34 to 38%. So that means drivers are having a lot more options. We looked into it. There are strawberries, blueberries, tomatoes, all coming out of these areas, which are picking up on tender rejections. So this is a good area. If you own a reefer truck, this is a good area to send.
So position yourself there.
Position
yourself
yourself
for
here.
Good rates.
And that's what will happen. You'll see a lot higher rates coming out of this area right now. But if you're a reefer carrier in Chicago, Indianapolis, or in the Northeast, you'll see rates drop very rapidly for them to reposition. They will take an extremely low rate to reposition their trucks from the Midwest and the Northeast and the Southeast, and they'll try to get into Jacksonville and Savannah, but there are only so many loads going into Jacksonville and Savannah. So they'll get into the Macon area, they'll get into maybe eastern Alabama, they might get in the Lakeland, Tampa area, and then they'll move their trucks empty into these markets to take advantage of these better options.
So being willing to take lower rates to reposition is part of the strategery of getting in position. So what would you, from the broker's playbook, Donnie, what would you suggest that a broker kind of negotiate for terms, knowing that this market is heating up?
Since you see this market exploding and you're a broker, you need to take rates, you need to bid your rates that are pretty well elevated over your market rates. Knowing that if you get a load out of this region, the carrier rates are going to be extremely high due to supply and demand. Okay. So if you want to be successful in this market, you have to bid a very, very high rate to win here. Now, on the flip side, if you're a broker, finding loads that reposition reefer trucks into this area, you could bid a fairly market rate and win that rate, and then find a reefer carrier and push their rates down. And they would be more than willing to reduce their rate to get into this market. Okay. So, and remember, reefers can run both dry van freight and refrigerated freight. So if they pull up to a shipper with dry van and it's at a, let's say 40,000 pound or less, they can turn that reefer off, they can load dry van freight and move down in this region with dry van freight and then pick up the refrigerated load.
And at the same time, I am eagerly anticipating when this Laredo market, which is one of the early seasonality indicators, will explode and pop off.
We are watching Laredo, we're watching El Paso, we're watching Phoenix, and we look at them every day. And we're waiting, and we're waiting for those onions to come up, and they're just not here yet.
And that is why we are bringing it to you each and every day. And one of the ways that we do this is we bring it to you on our Sonar SaaS data analytics platform, where we have got so many indices. It's really exciting, but it can be also a little bit overwhelming. So if you'd like a little bit more of a tutorial or a way to customize, tailor a plan that you might be interested in, just check it out at freightwaves.com/sonar, and we'll be happy to get you a demo and get you in queue for that. So that is it for today. We want to keep bringing it to you each and every day. We're going to give you a broker's perspective, a carrier's perspective, even what shippers are looking for, and also economic analysis to coming your way this very week. Thank you for tuning in. Check us out on social media, and we will see you tomorrow. And in the meantime, don't worry, be happy.